A very good morning to all of you. Is my audio clear to you? Can you hear me? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Guys, is my audio clear to you? Can I quickly get a reply? Yes. Okay. All right. Chalo, welcome to SCMPE revision classes. We are starting this session today. I will be discussing all the important topics in a crisp, summarized manner so that it can help you during your revision. We will not be discussing too many practical problems here. Our agenda is mainly to focus on all the important topics, the topics that normally students don't spend more time on, but are very important in exam. What happens most of the times, we end up spending a lot of time on CVP, decision making, standard costing, budgeting, to some extent even transfer pricing. No doubt these topics are important, but these topics are so big and take so much of time that in the time that you complete these 3-4 big topics, you can actually revise the rest of the syllabus, full syllabus, especially topics like lean system and innovation, performance measurement. These topics are so important. From last 5 question papers, you will get this understanding that they are asking questions from these smaller topics, somewhat theory practical mix such topics, and our students still study too much of standard costing, too much of CVP analysis, and then they realize after coming out of exam hall that they knew these topics, but they did not give enough importance to these topics. Therefore, I will be spending more time on all such small topics, but are important topics. And today I'm starting with lean system and innovation as our first topic. The soft copy of this file will be shared with all of you. You don't have to download anything as of now. The entire file will be shared with you. And this is not the only session. We will be doing multiple sessions for SCMPE revision. I will be sharing the entire material with all of you, not to worry about it. Okay. Yes. So when I'm explaining something, maybe in your notebook, you can note some of the important bullet points which I'll ask you to, and we will also cover RTP of November 2022. Anyway, the May 2022 question paper we have discussed in regular class itself. Those who have attended my physical class or those who have purchased pen drive or Google Drive, you have seen this already. I have discussed the entire May 2022 question paper in the live class itself. So that was the latest question paper which has already been covered. So the latest material that I have other than the study material is the revision test paper of ICAI for November 2022. Once we complete a particular topic, I will go to the latest RTP as well, and we will even cover that particular RTP question. Example, as of now, I'm starting with lean system and innovation. This is quite a big topic. Even for revision, it will take time. Lot of small concepts, but all put together, it is a big topic. After this, I'll be doing all such other topics. So as and when we complete a particular topic, I'll be taking you to the latest RTP and we will discuss, and all the case studies also related to the topics. As and when we complete that particular concept, we will go to the case study question from RTP and cover that as well. Okay, so are we good to start now? I'll be starting with lean system and innovation. I have given everything in this material in bullet form, in tabular form. Will help you even one day before exam to quickly complete the revision. Those who have attended my face-to-face class and have purchased pen drive or Google Drive, I have already shared with you one additional theory handbook. I shared it about 1.5 months back. You can refer to that as well. But this material which I'm going to share at the end of this video, this will have everything that you should refer one day before exam. This is not with detailed explanation. This is with all bullet points, all summaries. And if you have completed SCMPE one round of studies, then this material, the one that I'll be referring in this video, this is going to be helpful to you, because here you will not find too many points or too much of explanation. This is everything in crisp, everything in bullet points. So this is more of headlines of the news and not the news itself. Okay. Yes. So let us begin with first lean system, some of the basic points. Point number one, what exactly is a lean system? Lean system is an organized method for waste minimization without sacrificing productivity within a manufacturing system. The term waste, by the way, is very, very big in terms of what exactly waste is. It is not just about, here you have the concept of waste in detail. It is not only wasting of raw material, it is wasting of time, wasting of resource, wasting of space, producing defective items, rectification of defective items. All of this is considered to be waste. Waste is anything that is not adding any value to the organization. It is taking more energy, more time, more money, more resources of the organization, but not producing anything that is worth, that is not adding any value to the organization. Everything of such kind is considered to be waste. And if you have any technique that can reduce waste, that is called lean system. Suppose we are keeping too much of stock with us. We are blocking our money. We are blocking our space. It's a waste. Correct? With just-in-time inventory system, we can reduce this waste. That is why even just-in-time is part of lean system. Just-in-time is part of lean system, because even with just-in-time, we can reduce one type of wastage. What is that wastage? Blocking the space, blocking our money, and inventory getting obsolete, and then we losing that as well. So basic features of lean system. Optimizing the workflow through strategic operational procedures. If you do not optimize workflow, what happens? It takes more time for you to complete a simple job. Imagine a work has to be completed by 5 people in a particular flow, Mr. A, B, C, D, E. And if these people are physically sitting in different places, or if you have not arranged their workflow in a manner that they can pass on the goods from one person to another person at the fastest possible time, then understand you are wasting their time. You are wasting the space of the factory. You are delaying the production. You are delaying the sales. Now, one of the major objectives, major features in lean system is you have to optimize the workflow. Second, minimize the waste. I already covered that. Eliminating all non-value adding steps, NVA, and perform only value adding steps. Now, what is NVA and VA? How do I identify? When something is happening in your organization, ask one single question. By this event, is our customer getting any additional benefit? Is our employee getting any additional benefit? Is our environment getting any additional benefit? Is company getting any additional benefit? If your answer is no, basically are our stakeholders getting benefited by this action? If the answer is no, then it's a non-value added item. I'll give you an example. An employee is ready to work. He has machine, he is ready to work, but there is no supply of material. He is waiting. And how long he waited? 1.5 hours. Are you paying salary for those 1.5 hours? Yes, we are. And now when I'm paying salary for 1.5 hours and he did not do anything, is it adding any value to that employee? No. To the organization? No. To the shareholders of the company? No. To the customer ultimately? Answer is no. That means this is a non-value added activity. No way it is helping anybody, any stakeholder. That means it's a non-value added activity. Is every value added activity measurable in rupee term or monetary term? Again, the answer is no. For example, you're providing a training to the employee. Now, by you giving training to employee, you may not see immediate result. You may not be able to measure the result in monetary value also. But then will it help the employee in long run? Definitely yes. Will it help the organization in long run? Definitely yes. Will customers get better quality of products in future? Yes. Today's training may not give you result in the next month. January cost, February benefit may not happen. But then January cost, the cost of training those employees will give you long run benefits. This is a value added activity. By giving you training, the employee is now more confident. The employee has more knowledge, employee has more skills. With that, he will definitely produce a better product. With that, the factory efficiency will improve. If 5 employees are trained well, all the new joinees will be trained by these employees. So in future also, you will create such good employees for your factory. So you may not be in a position to measure it in rupee term, but this is surely a value adding activity. So the basic feature of lean systems is you do everything that can add value to the organization and avoid everything that does not add any value. Value added, non-value added. Very important. A lot of case study questions have been asked. Anytime you see a question, and if you find, suppose, a case study question, at the end they're asking you, identify value added, non-value added activity and give your view on what is going wrong in the company. When you read the case study itself, you can mark all the non-value added items. See, understand, as a student, identifying a value added activity may be difficult. Identifying a value added activity may be difficult, but identifying a non-value added activity is very easy. Because when you read itself, you'll get to know, okay, look, this is waste. This is waste of time. This is waste of money. This is waste of material. This is waste of machine capacity. This is waste of space. When you identify such waste, mark all of that. And for all those non-value added activities, you need to come with a suggestion. The mistakes that many students do, especially in terms of case study questions, they read the whole case study, which is say for 2.5 page, 3 page, and then last line, when they read, they understand, okay, this is what they want. And then they start reading the whole case study once again from the beginning. Because when they read first time, they won't mark anything. They won't analyze the question. They simply read it like they're reading newspaper. And then they realize that, okay, look, this is not the way. I should have marked some of the things, and then they start reading from the beginning. So any big question where question is printed for more than 2.5 page, the first thing you do is go to the last 3-4 lines of the question and identify the question. What exactly they want me to do. Okay, instead of reading from the beginning, okay, you saw 3-page question, go to the last 3 lines, they would have mentioned, list out value added and non-value added activities. What are the suggestions that you can provide to the company to reduce non-value added activity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is the question. Now that you have understood that this is what they want, now when you read the question from first line, from beginning itself, you can mark all such items, which will help you answer the question. So any big question, which is for more than 2-3 page, this should be the way. Read the end first and then start from the beginning. Now when you are reading, you know why you are reading, whatever you are reading. Yes, next. Adoptability in the production system, shift from batch and queue to product aligned put production. We will study all this in cellular manufacturing. different type of operation conducted adjacent to each other in a continuous flow. This is basically to reduce the material movement time. That is, you set your production process flow in such a manner that people movement, machine movement, and material movement are as less as possible. People movement, machine movement, and material movement should be as less as possible. Yes. What is this waste all about? See this. In lean system, waste is any step or action in a process that is not required to complete a process successfully. Hence, it is called non-value added NVA. So when waste is removed, only the VA steps necessary to deliver a satisfactory product or service to the customer will remain. Now, the types of waste, this part is very important. Very, very important. Motion, transportation, over-processing, defect or rework, waiting time, inventory, and overproduction. All of this is considered as waste. Some of the basic objectives of lean system. Why will a company adopt lean system in their organization? What is that company is going to get by adopting? First of all, by knowing and then adopting lean system. First one, perfect first time quality, obviously. Number two, waste minimization, continuous improvement, flexibility, synchronous manufacturing, zero waiting time, zero inventory. Zero inventory doesn't mean you won't carry inventory at all. Understand, there is something called just-in-time technique. Here, you will purchase inventory only when you know you're sure of consuming it immediately. But it says zero inventory. Practically speaking, you cannot have a zero inventory completely. You will have to carry some inventory with you. You cannot have zero inventory. Even if it is just in time, the companies will keep some safety stock. Now understand, safety stock is not wastage. You must understand this. Safety stock doesn't mean it is waste. Yeah. But in addition to safety stock, the regular stock that you keep, how much should be that regular stock? That is the question here. Understand? Just in time theoretically looks very good. This I have told you even in the class. That Monday afternoon, if you are going to consume it, Monday morning you should buy, or Sunday evening you should buy. That is easy, but that comes with too many conditions. Therefore, practically speaking, even if you are under just-in-time system, it is better to keep some safety stock with you always. Yeah, so zero inventory, don't understand it by 100% implementation of JIT, 100% implementation of JIT with certain practical difficulties. Zero defect, zero breakdown, and zero accidents. Full processing, continuous flow of production, process time reduction and optimization, quality product and service, optimum use of bottleneck resource, overall efficiency and effectiveness. By the way, we will study all of this in detail. In this video itself, we will be covering all of this. For example, just now I said zero inventory, and zero inventory is achieved in just in time. Just in time will be discussed in some time now itself. Like this, you will study all of this. Overall efficiency and effectiveness is studied in OEE. Very soon, even that will come for discussion. So these are the techniques of lean system. Just in time, Six Sigma, Kaizen Costing, 5S or 5S, same one and the same. TPM, total productive maintenance, cellular manufacturing, one piece flow production system. Now, to all those who are revising for immediate examination, ensure that you cover minimum one case study on all 6 concepts. Please make a note somewhere. You have to do at least one case study revision on each of this. One on JIT, one on Six Sigma, one on Kaizen Costing, like this. There are 6 techniques in lean system. One case study on each is must for your revision. Please make a note somewhere. Yes. And if you have any case study which has more than one concepts like JIT and Six Sigma together in one case study, revise that also. A case study question from this always comes, and case study I don't mean by only the first question of 20 marks. They can even ask you case study little later for 8 marks, 10 marks. Case study type need not be with too much of calculations, too much of numbers, but conceptual question, but not as a simple straight theory. They can create one story, one company, blah blah blah, and then finally they can connect it to one of the techniques of lean system. Those who attended my face-to-face class, you might remember, and those who have the pen drives, Google Drives, if you have watched this, in one of the sessions, we discussed May 2022 question paper. There was one question on this. They said a company found that employees were wasting a lot of time during office hours. And then they realized that one of the important reasons for this is use of mobile phones for personal purposes. And then they implemented a system where mobile phones are asked to be kept at the reception counter itself, and then you enter the office. And for all communication with client, you use only landline phone and email. And this brought in increase in efficiency, this reduced wastage of time and so on. Now, this was not, I hope you guys are able to recall this discussion. This is not a practical sum. There was not even a single number in the entire question. The only number was some 25% increase in the efficiency of employees because of not using mobile phones. And nowhere in the answer you will use that 25% because there is no cost attached to this decision. You are just asking your employees not to bring mobile phone to office, personal phone. And if they're bringing that, you're asking them to deposit that in the reception counter and go inside the office. Yeah, this is a free cost effective, I would say, decision by the company. But is it sustainable? No doubt this reduced wastage of time. But in today's world where everything is connected to phone, is it that easy for any company to convince their clients that, look, we will not be available on mobile phone. Anything you call us on landline itself. And in landline, you won't be able to communicate that freely like mobile phone. You won't be able to send anything, any text or photo or any of such kind, any document attachment. And for all of that, you have asked your client to use email. No doubt it is possible, but is it sustainable? Will this help employee in long run? Will this help your customers in long run? This is actually a Six Sigma related question. But when you read, it doesn't look like a Six Sigma question. Again, there also we are talking about waste. What type of waste? Waste of time. Therefore, understand whenever I say case study in this video, don't think of only the first question of 20 marks. There can be a lot more such questions in addition to the first question. Yeah. So first, I'm discussing Six Sigma. Sigma is a statistical term that measures how far a process deviates from perfection. And what is their degree of perfection? Here you have 99.99966. This is Six Sigma rating. Six Sigma rating. The higher the Sigma number, the closer the process to its perfection. You have it in the regular material also. From Sigma 1 to Sigma 6, you have 6 ratings. The more you are towards Sigma 4, Sigma 5 and 6, that better you are, that closer you are to the process perfection. Yes, read it. It produces only 3.4 defects per million. 3.4, let me take it as 4. So 4 per million, 1 million is 10 lakh. So you will consider that your company has achieved Six Sigma only if you are producing 4 defects out of 10 lakh units you make. Now, practically speaking, this looks quite impossible, correct? 4 defects out of 10 lakh is not easy. And most of you in your articleship, in your clients' places, you might have seen, they say we have 2% defect output, 1% defect output. What is the meaning of 1%, 2%? 1 out of 100 itself. And they are talking about just 4 out of 10 lakh. This is not easy. This is not easy. This is a structural meaning of Six Sigma. Six Sigma concept is based on the fact that it is possible to develop ways of reducing defects by measuring the level of defect in a process and discovering the causes. What is Lean Six Sigma? It is a combination of Lean and Six Sigma to achieve greater result that had not been achieved if Lean or Six Sigma would have been used individually. It increases the speed and effectiveness, important, both speed and effectiveness of any process within the entity. By using Lean Six Sigma, entities will be able to, number one, maximize the profits, build better teams, minimize the cost, and satisfy the customer. Obviously, these are the very 4 basic requirements. Any company wants only these 4. Build better teams, that is your employee strength, minimize the cost, satisfy the customer, maximize the profit. What more you want? This is all that every company wants. Yes. Some of the important features. These bullet points you can always write when there is a question on Six Sigma. They may ask you, you have been appointed as a strategic cost advisor to a company, and these are the challenges. Explain in light of Six Sigma, what is the objective of Six Sigma, what are the features, what are the advantages, what are the challenges with respect to Six Sigma, but consider the data given above. So you can't simply write the stories. So the important bullet points are here. These bullet points you have to connect to the given case. First, highly disciplined process that helps in developing and delivering near perfect products and services. They've used the word near perfect. They did not say perfect because even Six Sigma is not 100% accurate. It is still 4 defects out of 10 lakh. It's not 0 defects. Number one. Number two, strive to meet and improve firm's goal on quality, on cost, scheduling, manpower, and new product. Based on the concept of probability and normal distribution in statistics, seeks to ensure 99.99966% of product manufactured are defect-free, puts the customer first, very, very important, and uses fact and data to drive better solution. One of the important things that many companies miss is they don't analyze sales return properly. And this is an important step if you want to achieve Six Sigma. What do I mean by analyzing sales return? Okay, we have 10 crore sales in this month and we have 7 lakh rupee sales return. Now, you have to sit and analyze why we have the 7 lakh returns. Sometimes it may be payment issue. Sometimes may be related to discount, overpriced, etc., etc. Take out all of that. Suppose all such is about 2 lakh. Then the balance 5 lakh rupee is only and only related to product deficiency. They say product is not as per expected standard. Process is of bad quality. The product, sorry, not process, product. Product has a lot of defectives. Product is not working the way it was supposed to work. All this 5 lakh rupee worth sales return, the complaint is with respect to product. Now comes the question, go to each sales return out of this 5 lakh. Suppose there are 35 sales returns. All 35 put together is 5 lakh rupee. Go to each of this and check what is the reason. And list them, group them. Then you will get to know that majority of your sales return because of product issues are due to these problems. You have to identify where are we. Now understand 5 lakh rupee sales return because of defective product. That means you are not achieving Six Sigma. Six Sigma says 4 wastage out of 10 lakh. And you're talking about 5 lakh rupee every month. That means about 60 lakh in a year. That can't be Six Sigma. You may be just in 3 Sigma or 2 Sigma. The big problem is we try to achieve more sales and we don't analyze sales return properly. One of the important things, that is what the point number 5 says. It says, put customers first. If customer is unhappy, talk to them, ask them, identify their problem. Ask them whether they faced this problem in the past also. If they say no, they have been buying this product from last 5 years and only in last 2 months they are seeing such problems, then find out what happened in the production floor because of which the customer is unhappy. And the same customer who was happy from last 5 years, what changed in last 2 months? Maybe do you have new employees? Did you buy a new machine, or did you not train them properly? Or is it combination of all of this? Go back and analyze. So when you put customer first, you will find out the problem from their end. Otherwise, what most of the companies do, they produce and internally they have a quality control team. They will check and they dispatch. And if the checking system internally is not good, and if too many customers are complaining back to you, then understand you do not have a proper system in your company. You will never be able to achieve even 5 sigma, forget 6. Next one, full or total business initiative, not merely a quality initiative. Just now I covered that. Seek to achieve breakthroughs in every area of operation, not merely small and marginal improvement. Understand, the small and marginal improvement is studied in Kaizen Costing. We will cover that little later. Six Sigma doesn't talk about only that. They say, look, small improvements are needed, but not just that. You have to see in totality how each small improvement is helping the company in either reducing the cost or improving the profit or building better employee strength or keeping the customer happy. Remember the 4 major objectives. Philosophy of management, commitment, customer focus, process improvement, and rule of measurement. These bullet points you can write in any question. For any question in your answer related to Six Sigma, you can cover that this should be the management philosophy. Makes every area of firm ready to meet changing needs of customer, market, and technology. What are the advantages? Extremely important. Any question on Six Sigma, you can cover this. I've given 9 bullet points. Depending upon the marks, you can answer. See, nowadays in the question paper, they are not asking a straight question like this. Explain the advantages of Six Sigma. No, they're not asking like this. They're going to give you 1-page story. Company was here from last 30 years. They have been making fantastic profits, but last 4 years is not so good, blah, blah, blah. And then they create a story, and then you have attended a training on Six Sigma and Lean system. And now you are planning to implement Six Sigma, but management is refusing. Now please prepare a report convincing the management to implement Six Sigma. Now, if you have to convince somebody to implement Six Sigma, then you have to list out all the advantages of Six Sigma. Correct? This they won't mention. That explain the advantages. They will create a story. By the time you complete the story, you should be able to understand, okay, look, I want to implement a system. I am the cost manager in this company, but the directors are not ready to implement. That means they want me to put out all the advantages. Okay, so questions will not be direct. They will never mention, explain advantages of Six Sigma. You check last 5 question papers of SCMPE. You will not find even one question which ends in 1 line. But if you read full page, you will realize, okay, this question could have been just asked like this. So always they create a big story. So it is good. So you have to write these advantages and connect these advantages to the given case. So no question will be straight question. Remember that. First one, improved customer satisfaction, opportunities to retain the customers. If you don't give good quality product or service, number 1, you will not get new customers. Number 2, your customers also will not stay with you. So both are big problems. Second, reducing in cycle time. What is cycle time? The entire process flow from purchase of raw material till you deliver the final product. How much is the total time taken? In that, where are those VA and NVAs? And if you keep removing NVAs, then you will improve the speed and that will reduce the cycle time. Zero defect, significant cost saving, creation of reputation for top performing products or services, gives new approach of thinking, planning, and executing. It leads to working smarter and not harder. Understand, there are many companies which are producing defective pieces and spending lot of time in rectifying the defective. Instead, if they implement Six Sigma and Lean system and identify the root cause, why are we creating such a defective items, and if they fix there itself, then they can avoid doing this rectification work. Rectifying a defective product is hard work. You are redoing the same thing. You're not creating one more unit. You had sold one, that item has come back, you are rectifying the defective, that you will again give it to the same customer. You are not increasing the sale. It will not help in profitability. And even you will not enjoy rectifying a defective piece. You will rather enjoy doing a new item, new product. Therefore, you have to shift your mindset from working hard to working smart. If you are finding too many defective pieces, instead of investing more on rectifying that later, try to find out the root cause. Why are you at first place creating a defective item? Fix there itself. Next, proactive management team. That is, don't wait for customers to come back with complaint. Implement such system. Be proactive that there is no possibility of creating a defective item itself. Next, better collaboration within the entity among various divisions and goal for perfection. Procedure and methods for implementing Six Sigma. They've asked questions on this repeatedly. It depends on two. Number one, whether you are implementing Six Sigma on existing items or whether it is new product. See this. For improving the existing product, process or service, the short form is DMAIC. DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. For designing new product, define is same, measure is same, analyze is same. Here it is not improve, it is design and then verify whether your new design is working fine or not. That means the first three things are easy and same. DMA, remember this. DMA is same. You have to define. What to define here? What exactly is the problem? We are wasting time. Okay, that is the problem. Understand? We have to first identify what is the problem. Define the problem. Second, measure. Measure it in monetary terms. Because of this problem, because of this wastage, how much is the monetary loss to the organization? Analyze. Then find out what is the root cause. Why are we wasting time? Then, if it's an existing product, you improve. Try to fix the problem. If it's a new product, now there is nothing to improve because there is nothing in first place. That means now you have to design a new system because it's a new product. You are worried in this new product, lot of employees will waste time in waiting. Waiting is the time during which you are waiting for goods to come from previous employee. Mr. A has to do something and then you will get that item. Then you will do it, pass it on to C. You are Mr. B, it will go to C, D, and so on. And you know, if A is not giving the product, you have no work. That means now you are launching a new product. Your process flow is such that if one of those guys, A, B, C, D, is slow, then the entire chain will be slow. That means you have defined. Now measure it in terms of rupee value. How much is the total time required to produce X number of units if all of them are equally efficient? And compare that with the time that you will take if one of them is inefficient or very slow. Now you know the extra time. Multiply that with labor rate per hour. You will get to know how much is the extra labor cost and how much is the reduction in production per day. Now you know in terms of rupee, you have measured. Now you analyze, okay, how do we fix it? Analyze it. What are the other possibilities? In what other ways we can reduce this waiting time? In what way we can improve the efficiency? Then if it's an existing product, improve it. You would have thought about it when you launched this product, maybe say 4 years back. But now you have realized that they are not implementing all the policies that you defined. Now go back and improve if it is an existing product and then control. What is the meaning of control here? Now that you have identified that 4 years back when you launched the product, you have told your employees to do it in a certain manner, but they're not doing. That is why you have wastage. Now you need to bring in a control system. Now that you have identified this weakness, ensure that once in a week, once in 15 days, a specific attention is paid to solve that particular existing problem. But if it's a new product, the first three things will remain same. Then you have to design, because you don't have anything in place to fix the problem. You design a solution to the problem and also verify whether it works fine or not. At least first 15-20 days, you have to visit your factory floor when there is a new product production happening and identify whether the waste that you anticipated, whether they're happening, and in case if they're happening, whether your designed solution to that is working fine or not. This is very important, DMAIC and DMADB. Again, they will not ask you question directly on this. Yeah, they will give a detailed story. Again, you have to observe in the beginning itself. Is it an existing product or is it a new product? Is this an existing product? Then you have to go by DMAIC. You have to explain what is lean system, what is Six Sigma, and then explain what is DMAIC, each one by one. For D, one line; for M, one line. Explain that, and then write about the given case, and then you explain how DMAIC should be implemented in that company. But if they are talking about new product launch, then you have to explain DMADB. First three things are same: defining the problem, measuring it in monetary terms, and analyzing what went wrong or what might go wrong if it's a new product. These three things are common. If it is already existing, then improve it and control it. If it's a new product, design the solution and verify. Limitation of Six Sigma. This can be your sub-question 1, sub-question 2. They will first ask you how Six Sigma can be implemented in this company, what are the advantages, and whether they should use the existing product methodology or a new product methodology. And finally, they ask you what are the challenges that company may face in implementing Six Sigma, or what are the limitations of implementing Six Sigma. See, when you write a case study type answer, do not write only one side of the coin. Many students do this mistake. A company is planning to implement Six Sigma and they give a detailed story. You only write about all advantages of Six Sigma. That's not correct. That's not correct. You have to conclude the answer with this. However, below your answer should be like this. However, below are some of the challenges, some of the limitation in implementing Six Sigma. Companies should be aware of the below points, and then you cover 1 or 2 points. You do not write only the advantage side. You do not write only positive side of implementing Six Sigma. Many students do this mistake. A case study answer should be written from all perspective, not only from the good side of it. Everything has a good and bad side when you have to implement something in a company. If you tell employees not to waste time from tomorrow, obviously that employee will be unhappy because you told him on face that he is wasting time. Correct? In that question of May 2022 question paper, I want you guys to go through this question after the video. May 2022, a company, the one that I already told you, is asking their employees not to use phone in the office. No doubt this has an advantage, but is it sustainable in long run? Do you think if you explain this to an employee or a potential candidate, potential employee in the interview, do you think some good employees may not join, good candidates may not join your company because of such policies? Not everybody likes this. Not everybody likes a policy where your company says, I'll fix a CCTV camera just behind you. I want to ensure that on your screen, you're only spending time on work-related activities and you're not wasting time for other things. Now, from monetary perspective, from lean system perspective, from Six Sigma, you can write, so look, this is a fantastic proposition. Out of 9 hours, other than the normal wastage of time, employee will be 100% productive because company now has a full control on what they're doing with their computers, because you have a CCTV camera behind every employee. But think as an employee, do you like to work in such an environment where you are always watched? You may not, correct? That means every such new initiative has the other side also. So when you write a case study answer, do not write only plus points of this. You also have to write the challenges. I'll give you one more example. We will discuss in the later part of the video. Environmental management accounting chapter. In every question of environmental management accounting, company is violating one or the other norms. One or the other, either pollution related or permission, land acquisition, cutting the tree, one or the other problem you will find. But then they will also give you a lot of advantages of doing all of that. Profitability will improve, competitive advantage, better product to customer, lot of employment in such rural areas, blah, blah, blah. No doubt there are advantages of taking up this project, but because of the environmental damages, it is better not to take up the project. That means you should never answer only from one perspective in any case study sum. Okay, even if it is a CVP analysis question, a pricing decision question, most of the times they are asking this. You first work out the solution, that is for 8 marks, and then for 2 marks they ask you what are the non-monetary factors that may affect this decision that companies should consider or keep in mind. They are nowadays asking this question specifically. So you can't write only good side. If you find any non-monetary challenges, even that has to be written. So even Six Sigma implementation, the limitations are to be covered in your answer. First, focus on specific type of process only. Six Sigma focuses more on factory alone, process, nothing else. Focus on quality only, doesn't focus on output, quantity. Sorry, this is not quality, this is quantity. Yes. You know the problem if you implement Six Sigma, some companies will be over worried about the quality because you want to achieve that 99% perfection. And in the race of getting that 99% perfection, one problem that you'll create is you will end up being very slow, overcautious, produce less units, and there may be good demand in the market. You'll not be able to capture the demand because you are over worried about avoiding one wastage. And because of that, you may be very, very slow, very big problem. Does not work well with intangible results. I told you, if you're not able to measure the effect of Six Sigma, then management will obviously say, dear cost advisor, you told us to implement this. We tried 6 months over. We're not able to see the result in monetary terms. You can't measure it that easily. Require substantial infrastructure investment. You can't bring in Six Sigma without investing in infrastructure. That is, you have to bring in new machines. You have to give new tools, give training to the employees, upgrade the machine if you are using old machines. Unless you do all this, you can't achieve 99% efficiency. Correct? That means management should be ready for two things. One, immediate infrastructure related investment. Second, recurring cost on training the employees and maintaining these assets, machines, tools, other technical know-hows, all of this. Complicated for some tasks. Obviously, you cannot always measure whether with Six Sigma employees working well or not. The same example of not using mobile phone. Is not using personal mobile phone a good decision? Answer is yes. But is every employee happy with this? Answer may not be. Yes, in that case, it may be no. Standards need not be met by all products. Six Sigma in a company in one department may work well, may not work in other department, may work for one product, may not work for another product. And there are a lot of real-time barriers. That is, once you implement any new system, there will be a lot of resistance. Many employees will say, no, this is not possible. We can't change the way of working all of a sudden. We have been doing something in a particular manner. Today, suddenly you come and say, this process has wastage. Let's remove this process. We'll bring in a new process. The new employees will adopt to this, accept this. But the old employees, they will find it very difficult to accept this and implement this. And they will be reluctant. That means if your company has 50% old employees, old here is not by age. Old here, when I say, I mean number of years they have spent in your factory. They've used the same machine, same technique, same process flow. Suddenly you come and ask for a change, they may not be willing to accept. So half of such employees and half of new employees who are always willing to come and try new ideas. Now all of these guys, this 50% and this 50% should work together in a company. That becomes another challenge. There is one set of people who want to try new things, but another set of people who are always resisting the changes. Bringing all of them together to one factory and getting the things done is another challenge to a lot of companies. Yeah, right. After Six Sigma, the second technique is Kaizen Costing. What is Kaizen Costing all about? It is all about continuous improvement. Here, understand, in Six Sigma, we said identify a wastage area, change that process, give training to employee, bring a new machine, remove that non-value added activity. So there in Six Sigma, our decisions are big. Out of 5 steps, you are completely eliminating third step, fourth step, big decisions. But in Kaizen Costing, you will not change anything radically. You will say, look, whatever you are doing is correct, but ensure that you improve the way you are doing it. Your focus is to do small improvements, daily improvements. You don't believe in removing 1 step out of 5 steps and thinking that this will help the company. You do 5 steps, no problem. But in each step, can you do it faster? Can you do it better? Can you show some improvement in the same activity? Yesterday also you are cutting the vegetable, today also you are cutting the vegetable. Tell me how better you are in cutting the vegetable today. Yes, are you faster? Are you cutting it better? Are you checking the quality before cutting now? Can you cut with 2 hands at the same time? Small improvements, but long-term improvements. Yeah, sorry for that cutting in 2 hands example. I know practically it's not possible. Yes, continue. Even this focuses on waste reduction in the production process, thereby further lowering the cost below the initial target specified during the design. See here, again, small but significant cost reduction achieved during implementation due to workers' involvement. Kaizen costing is intended to repeat many of the value engineering steps continuously and constantly, refining the process, thereby eliminating out extra cost at each stage. Here, they believe in doing value-added activities, but even in value-added activities, they are trying to improve the way of doing such activities. Small, but daily improvement. Daily, weekly, monthly, you check. Suppose a work was taking 60 minutes 1 week back. Is it taking 58 minutes today? Even if that is happening, understand Kaizen costing target is achieved because your aim is to improve slowly but steadily. Some of the basic principle. It seeks to achieve, gradual improvement. You are not trying to change something overnight. In the existing situation, you are not trying to change the machine itself. You are not removing that employee. You will continue with that employee, that machine, but you will try to improve the way things are happening. Second, it involves setting standards and then improving them to achieve long-term sustainable improvement. They have used the word sustainable. What does this mean? Don't bring in such ideas which may look very good initially, but after 5 weeks, 10 weeks, say 3 months, 6 months, we are back to our old style because that idea was very good. It looked like 1 month full of only that idea implementation, but later no one is serious about it. I'll give you one example. Many chartered accountant offices, they keep trying to say that our office will be 0 paper office. Let us try. 1 month they tried really hard. They don't take print. They ask clients to send everything scanned online. They avoid unnecessarily printing documents. Fantastic. And then they say, look, we have done a fantastic job in the month of August, September. We have not printed even a single paper. There was 0 usage of paper in the office. Fantastic. After that, if you don't follow up this, 3, 4, 5 months later, if you check, your office will be working in the same way it was working 1 year back. Again, same use of paper, same repeated printing, unnecessary printing. Why? Because you did not try with a Kaizen costing principle. The principle of Kaizen costing always says you do small improvement, ensure that you do it continuously. What your company did, what your CEO office did, is they said this month we will try and avoid using paper, but you did not say that you have to do it forever. If you have to do it forever, even you don't achieve 100% result in 1 month, it's okay for you, because you don't have to show any result to anybody in that 1 month. It is not one-time affair, one-time event of the year. It's not like an annual affair, right? You have to continuously do. This is the difference with all other techniques and Kaizen costing. Kaizen costing says, look, you're printing papers, do it, no problem. But just see, are you printing less papers today than yesterday? Are you using less papers today than yesterday? 1 week later, 1 month later, when you look back, have you reduced usage of papers compared to last month? We are not asking you to make it zero overnight. If you try that, it is not sustainable. Just like you trying to reduce electricity bill in your house, this should also follow Kaizen costing principle itself. You cannot reduce electricity bill in a month by removing 1 or 2 tube lights and fans and say, look, this month I will achieve. We will try and live with one less tube light. Why do we need 4 tube lights? Why do we need 3 tube lights? Let's remove 1. It may be little dark, but that's okay, manageable. Now this may look good 1 month. You can force all your family members, but then is it sustainable in long run? The answer is no. After doing all this, if you go to another town or city for your work or studies, your family members are waiting for this. The moment you leave, they will again put the tube light and bulb, again continue, go back to old scheme, because you never tried continuous improvement. What Kaizen costing says, let the 4 tube lights be there itself, don't remove. Unnecessarily, why are you keeping the tube lights on? Reduce that. Nobody is in the room, but the power is on. No one is watching TV, TV is on. Nobody is there in that room, fan is on. When you leave the room, you should bring in a principle practice that you should turn off fan and light, then only you leave the room. This is called Kaizen costing. Again, difficult. Everybody will not, accept these initiatives that easily, but once they change their practice, you will still have 4 tube lights in your house, but you will use it only when necessary. This is the difference between 2 ways of looking at it. One way is take out 1 tube light, electricity bill will come down. Second, let the tube light be there, change the culture of people, change the habits, small and continuous improvement. And this is what Kaizen costing is all about. It recognizes that improvements are endless, exactly what I told you. No limit to the level of improvement that are possible. You continuously improve the speed of working. You continuously try to reduce the electricity bill. There is no end. There is no visible end. Try to reduce as much as possible. It encourages collective decision making, application of knowledge. Same example, reducing electricity bill. You have to convince all your family members. Everybody should involve. By one person chasing everybody, this won't work. Correct? You can't be doing this policing work. Maybe initial first few days, but later everyone should involve. Otherwise, this is not possible. It covers all areas of business and not restricted to just shop floor. Yes. Here, unlike the Six Sigma, your focus is not just on manufacturing unit. You're not focusing only on factory operations. You have expanded your waste reduction ideas, your waste reduction initiatives. You're now talking about outside the factory also. That means this will cover office, administration, selling, distribution, marketing, showroom, everything is covered. It focuses on eliminating wastage, improving the system, and improving the productivity. Yes, these are the basic principles with respect to Kaizen cost. The next technique in lean system is 5S. Very simple, very easy. 5S is the name of workplace organization method that uses a list of 5 Japanese words to explain how a workspace should be organized for efficiency and effectiveness. Now, these are the 5 phases. I'm directly going to point number 2. Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. What is this? 1 by 1. Sort. This is something that all of us should first do in our work desk, in our study desk. From there, it should start. Is everything sorted properly? Is everything available in the nearest possible place? Are you wasting too much of time in just arranging this itself? Every time it is messy. That means you have not sorted things. Second, set in order. It is available, but not in the right order. My fifth step item is available next to me. My second step is far away from me. That means you have not set the machines, the tools, the materials, thinking of a factory, machine, material, tools, and all the necessary things. You have not set it in the order. What is required after 3 hours is very close to you. You will not touch it for next 3 hours, but it is close to you. But what you need immediately 5 minutes later, that is far away from you. The tool, the machine, the material. Remember. Next one, shine. You have the machine, material, tools with you, but you're not keeping it in good usable condition. Shining is ensuring that it is well maintained, repaired whenever needed. Standardize. Ensure that the entire company, entire factory follows a common practice of sorting, setting in order, and shining. It should not be that one employee is washing, cleaning his equipment every day, and another employee is doing it one day before Dasra for Ayush Puja celebration, is just washing it and cleaning. That is not going to work. That way your company will not improve. Your overall factory efficiency will not improve. You have to have a standardized practice that every employee once in 3 days, first 15 minutes will be to check whether he is following 5S principles or not. Is everything sorted? Is everything set in order? Is everything shine here means keeping it in good condition. You have to standardize the process. Last one is sustain. Again, this should not be once in a year event. It should not be done only on a particular day in a year just to show to the management. It should be done regularly. It should be sustainable. Therefore, keep it simple. Keep these processes very simple. Don't make it a tough rule on employee that it has to be set in a particular order itself. Let him decide the order in which he wants to set everything around him, but then ensure that management has an eye on what he is doing. And if he is wasting time with his own ideas, then you have to come back and say, boss, we gave you time to try. You tried for last 2-3 months, but this is not the right way. Here is our guideline on how you can set, how you can sort everything in order, how you should shine the equipments. Please follow this. Yeah, these 5 are important. They can ask a simple question for 5 marks on 5S: sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Next concept is total productive maintenance. What is TPM? Total productive maintenance is a system of maintaining and improving the integrity of production and quality system. TPM is achieved through machines, equipments, process, employees that add to the value in a business entity. The pillars of TPM is number 1, autonomous maintenance. What is autonomous maintenance? If you don't spend on maintenance activity, you will spend on repair activity. Remember the basic thumb rule. You don't maintain your vehicle properly, you don't do the servicing of your vehicle properly, then someday randomly it will stop working. You will spend a huge money on repair. That is, if you don't take care of your health properly, one day you will get admitted. So if you don't maintain your body, you will end up spending money on repairing your body parts. As simple as that. TPM says ensure that you have an autonomous maintenance system wherein don't wait for something to happen to the machine and then don't start repairing it. That's not what is to be done. Ensure once in 15 days you have a servicing of the machine done by default, whether machine is in good condition or bad. Do not wait for a machine to break down, because if machine breaks down on a random day, not just that machine and that employee will be affected, entire factory will be affected, because it's a process flow. 5 machine, third machine is not working. Now if the third machine is not working, you know what happens. Everything will be in progress till there, and after that every other person will be waiting because the third machine is not working. And then you find out somebody who can come and fix this. He may take 5 hours. That means for entire 5 hours your production is 0. And if that happens at a time when there is a peak demand, then you will understand how big is this point of maintaining the machine instead of waiting for it to break down and then spend on repair. Many companies believe that once they buy the machine, everything will work properly. And if something is not working, do the repair. They don't believe in continuous default maintenance. They do maintenance, but that too only if the seller of the machine calls them and reminds that, sir, did you do the repairing? Did you do the servicing? You purchased the machine from us 1 year back. I hope you have done the maintenance activity 3 times. Then the company says, oh, sorry, I never knew I had to do it thrice. This is the problem. If you want to achieve TPM, ensure that the maintenance is done by default and don't wait for any machine breakdown incident to happen. Second, focused improvement, a common point, quality maintenance, early management. What is this early management? Again, same example. Don't wait for competitors to come with a new product feature. If you know you can implement that feature, you should be ready to try. Don't wait for some other person to come and tell you that you are wasting time in these steps. You should be proactive. The management should have the ability to go to the factory floor, identify the weak areas, fix the problems. You have to manage things before things go out of control. Next, education and training the employees. Obviously, office TPM. So TPM is not restricted just to the production floor. You have to ensure that this is implemented even in non-factory areas of your company, example office. Safety, health and environment, the last pillar of TPM. To implement TPM, first you have to prepare the policies, then you have to introduce them on trial basis, implement them for say 2 months, 3 months and see, and then institutionalize it. Then you have to make some employees within the factory as the leaders, and they have to ensure that the TPM is followed in their circle. You create a circle of 5 employees, such 20 circles, 5 into 20, 100 employees. Those 20 will have one leader, and all the management ideas are implemented through this system. There are leaders at each machine stage, at each process level. Don't expect the management to come and verify the machine and then ask the employee, when did you do the last maintenance? That should not happen. No doubt surprise check is a good practice, but every time you are doing surprise check, that means you did not implement, you did not institutionalize it. Surprise check is a good thing, but every time you do a surprise check, what are you identifying? That no one is following the practices. You said, preventive maintenance to be done. Nobody is doing it. Every time you do a surprise check, then you realize, okay, nobody is doing. The problem is between top management and the employee, the factory employee, there is no middle-level management at all. Therefore, you have to institutionalize it, make a group of 5 people and make one guy as the leader for that 5 group of people. And then that guy will be responsible to implement TPM objectives in his circle of 5 people. Now you can train 5, you can train the leaders, and those leaders will go and implement. This way of institutionalizing, channeling the ideas should happen. Now, how do you measure the performance in TPM? You use something called OEE, overall equipment effectiveness. Extremely important from exam point of view. They can ask a practical question. They can even ask a theory question. We have in fact done some practical questions as well in the class. You need to measure the OEE, and it's a combination of 3 factors. 1, performance multiplied by 2nd, availability, 3rd, multiplied by quality. Number 1, performance measurement, standard time by actual time, and ideally it should be more than 95%. Availability, actual time by available time, that should be more than 90, and quality, output quantity accepted divided by output quantity produced, and this should be greater than 99. What do you mean by greater than 99? If you have produced 10,000 units, then how many of them are accepted? Now, what is the other possibility? They're rejected. Why rejected? Quality issues. And this should be greater than 99%. That means you're talking about having 9,990, more than that. It should be greater. That means it should be 9991. And once you multiply, suppose for a particular company, you calculated all the 3. This is coming to 97%. That means 0.97, correct? And this is coming to 92%, 0.92, and this is coming to 91%. You multiply all of this, what you get is overall equipment effectiveness, OEE in percentage. Higher the percentage, better it is. Yeah, mark this segment, very important. They ask either practical or a theory question on this. They have asked many times already. Yes, the next concept is cellular manufacturing, one-piece flow production system. What is this concept all about? Cells are created in a workplace or production floor to facilitate flow by bringing together operations or machines or people involved in processing sequence of products in natural flow, grouping them close to one another, very important, close to one another, distinct from other groups. This grouping is called cell. Now, you create your production flow in such a manner that if that production has 6 activities, 6 steps, all 6 of them are not far away from each other. All 6 of them can be monitored by one supervisor in such a manner that if he's standing in one place, he should be able to see all 6 of them. Correct? It shouldn't so happen that step 1 is here and then that material will go to somebody who is doing step 2, and from there again it will come to step 3, and then the step 4 which is standing next to step 1. This is not correct way of one-piece flow production system. This is not cellular manufacturing. You create a cell, and cell should be such that every person in that cell is easily accessible to every other person, and if one supervisor is standing there, he should be in a position to verify or check everything at one glance. It shouldn't so happen that these people are far away from each other and we are wasting a lot of time in movement. This cellular manufacturing mainly focuses on number 1, good control by supervisor on the entire flow. Number 2, it tries to reduce movement time. That is item moving from step 1 to step 2, step 2 to 3, 3 to 4. If these guys are very close to each other, then that movement time, the transportation time within the factory will come down. Yes, see here. These cells are used to improve many factors in manufacturing setting by allowing one-piece flow to occur. Each cell comprises of one or more machines which accomplish a certain task. So there is employee A, there is employee B, employee C, D, and E, starting from here. A, B, C, D, E. All these are 5 different machines manned by 5 different people. The product moves from one cell to the next. Each station completing a part of the manufacturing process. Cells can be U-shaped. Mainly it is U-shaped. It can be U, L, or straight line. U-shaped cell is considered preferable. That's what I told. That's why I've also written it in the U form. It's a reverse U. Yes. And if A, B, C, D, E is cell 1 like this, then the next cell should start from E. The F should start from here. It should go something like this: E, F, G, H, I, J, and from J, the next flow should come in this order, so that the items can move in a particular direction. A, B, C. You observe my arrow mark I'm drawing in blue now. Just follow whatever I'm writing in blue. It starts from here, goes to E, and then don't start the next process somewhere from here. Again, you'll have to move everything in this way. You'll even disturb the other process flow. This is exactly what cellular manufacturing is all about. Now the item is in E. Let the next cell start from here itself. So it moves in this direction. Now item is here. Start the next cell in this direction. Start it in this direction. Now everything goes in a flow. Nobody is disturbing other employees. And if you have one supervisor standing here, he will be in a position to see what A is doing, B is doing, C, D, and E are doing. And observe, by standing there, he has a complete control on the entire cell. Correct? And each employee is very close to each other. A is close to B and A is close to E also. If it's a straight line, the problem is A will be here and E will be here. And in between, you'll have B, C, and D. Correct? And for some reason, if A has to pass on something to E, he has to go this way and meet him. Go this way here and meet him. Or if he walks this way, then he'll even get disturbed by B, C, D, E in between. But if you set it in the U shape, why they refer U shape? Because in U shape, every employee is very close to every other employee. A is here, B here, C, D, and E. Now for A, even E is very close, correct? And A can go to E. A can move machines, material, tools to E without disturbing B, C, and D. This is the advantage of having cellular manufacturing. What are the goals? Why do we need cellular manufacturing? First, to move the items, I'm highlighting, to move items as quickly as possible. I just now told you, to make a wide variety of similar products. It will be easy if you follow U-shaped cell, then you'll be able to actually produce a lot of things in a faster pace. Any big factory, mega factory episodes, if you have watched on television or on YouTube, you will notice most of the factory production activities are like this. They are in U shape. It goes this way, comes back this way, goes another way, comes back this way. You will hardly find anything in L shape or in a straight line shape. Why? Because the items will move faster and you can actually produce more products when things are moving in a faster pace to generate as little waste as possible. Now, which waste they are talking about? Waiting time, moving from Mr. A to Mr. E. Waiting because A has to come to E and he has to walk for 2 minutes because E is far away. This is also waste. Understand, this entire chapter is about reducing the waste. And in this cellular manufacturing, what is the wastage that we are trying to avoid? The waiting time, the movement time. Process. What you should do? First, group the similar parts to be produced. Production flow analysis. Design cell using mathematical model and algorithm. Next, the benefit. Identification of where inefficiencies lie. Performance evaluation. Freeing the floor space in the manufacturing assembly environment. This is very important. Many companies, they have enough space in the factory, but because they have not arranged every activity in a proper way, they will end up wasting a lot of space, and then everything is always messy. You will find factory always crowded because people are always moving from one place to another place because you did not arrange anything in a proper manner. Higher safety in the work environment. Definitely, when people don't move from their place, you will have more safety by default. The problem comes when people keep moving along with some materials, some machines and tools from one place to another place, disturbing every other person. That is when you have more risk. When everyone is, sitting in their place or standing in their place and doing their work, the chances of accidents are also very, very less. Just a second. Yes, I'm sorry. Let me continue. The next thing is improvement in morale, improvement in cohesion, better identification of quality issue, reduction in cost of inventory and obsolescence, reduction in flow time and process time and flexibility, scaling and minor changes to the overall design. I told you, once you arrange your work in a neat and organized manner, then all of this will happen. Otherwise, you will waste a lot of time in people moving around. They don't move by themselves. They also carry machines or material or some tools and other things. That creates more problem. It will waste more time. If a good cell or a good production flow can complete a task in 3 hours, a bad production flow or a bad factory design will take double the time. As simple as that. What are the challenges? Again, I told you some difficulties in implementing. Exceptional items. Obviously, you can have a process flow for normal production, but if you have some exceptions, then you will have to break this. Machine distance. You cannot. I told you that every machine, every person should be as close to each other as possible. Practically, it has a lot of challenges. Some machines are big, some are small, And because of the nature of the machine, you can't have sometimes this machine next to another machine. One machine may generate more heat, but another machine, the seller of the machine has told you that this machine should be kept away from high heat areas. Now you can't have machine A, machine B next to each other, though step A and step B are happening next, but you can't keep them next to each other. Practical difficulties. Bottleneck machine and parts. Some machines are too busy. Some machines are not that busy. We will study bottleneck little later in the session. The machines that are too busy, next to that you can't keep the other machine which are not that busy. Then what will happen? You will see a difference in the speed because one machine is always busy. The next machine is waiting for the previous machine. So you have to better have 3-4 such machines next to each other, and this next step can go somewhere else. Let us not create that cell in such a manner that you are busy, not so busy, efficient, inefficient, but all of them are very close to each other. No doubt they should be close to each other, but you should also think the speed and the occupancy of every machine. Part routing, employee involvement, cell load variation, inter and intracellular material transfer, all of this. Again, I wrote a diagram neatly. It comes this way, and next cell will be like this, next cell like this, next cell like this. The U system may not be that easily possible. Some of the materials you can't move it in a particular direction. It is difficult. Some materials are hazardous. Some materials should not go to some machines. It should not go very close to some machines. Then you won't be able to implement cellular manufacturing that easily. Reconfiguration, dynamic part demand, operation and completion challenges. Right. Okay. Now, next discussion is on process innovation, and connected to that is business process and then business process re-engineering. Okay. Now, because all of this is connected, I prefer we will take this up in the next session. So here we are winding up session 1. We will be starting with session 2, and there I will start with process innovation and will continue business process and business process re-engineering. Yes, chalo. Thank you so much. We will meet again in session